Are you tired of the satin stitch yet? Hopefully the answer is no, because we are going to be doing a buttload of satin stitching on this, but we're going to start off with just some long and short stitching on the stem here. So I've got 2 strands of green thread for the stem, a size 10 embroidery needle, just using a long and short stitch. If you don't know what that is or what I'm referring to, I'll link the tutorial I have on the individual stitch above so you can see an example of what that looks like before you get started here. And then I'm just going to do the same on the top little portion of the stem up here. Now that the stems are all filled in, I've switched to 2 strands of the color thread that I'm going to be using for the rest of the flower for my snapdragon. And you guessed it, I'm just going to go in and fill in each individual little shape. And this is extremely tedious and it's going to take you forever. But I promise it's going to be worth it. I love how this turned out. I'm gonna be honest with you, when I started making this pattern, this was the one flower that I was not looking forward to stitching just because I knew how long it was gonna take and I wasn't sure if it would be worth it, but I honestly love how it turned out. I think all of the little individual shapes that are satin stitched put together just makes a snapdragon pop off of the fabric. So as you're going along here, the most important thing to keep in mind is the angles you're using and to just stitch them in a way that will benefit the next shape that you're going to stitch. So I'll show you what I mean here in just a second. So the most important thing you can do when you have an image like this that's entirely satin stitched is to keep in mind what angles you're using and to also keep in mind what angle you're going to be using on the next shape that you're going to stitch. I started off that top one just slanted downward. Now I've got these 3 petals in the middle and the easiest thing would be to just stitch them lengthwise, but I know that's going to make them blend in a little bit together. So what I'm going to do is take this first one and I'm just going to use my satin stitching going vertically. And now I'm keeping in mind the next shape I'm going to be stitching to the right while I'm doing this. the shape next to it, I'm coming in at an angle this time rather than stitching directly vertically, so that way it's going to stand out against the shape that I just filled into the left. I don't know if that makes sense, and I know that I tend to ramble sometimes, so if it doesn't make any sense, just mute me and watch what I'm doing, and hopefully you can figure it out. At the end of the day, it's just satin stitching. There's a lot you can do with it. There's a lot that you don't have to do with it, but I'm just showing you what I like to do, what I prefer to do. I don't think there's a right or wrong way to do it. Whatever you think looks best is the way that you should do it. And here's how my finished snapdragon turned out. I think it's gorgeous. Let me know if you try it. Let me know if you survived all the satin stitching, and I will see you again next time. Thank you.